Hey guys, it's Tracy. I had a great response to these burlap pumpkins that I created last week. So since I am on the buffalo check trend this year for my decor, I decided to make some buffalo check rustic pumpkins. So if you would like to see how I created these buffalo check rustic pumpkins, stay tuned because I will show you everything that I did. If you are new here, welcome. Please consider subscribing if you like crafty ideas like this. Click the little bell notification. It will notify you every single time that I upload a video. So let's get started and let me show you how I created these little cutie patooties. The supplies that I used is this white burlap, and they are cut at 6-inch strips, and those strips itself are about 48 inches long, and then as well as some Mod Podge. Then for the fabric, for the little bow ties, I'm going to use some homespun fabric and then that darker muslin fabric. For the stuffing, I'm using this filling stuffing, some cinnamon sticks for the stem, and then some orange burlap 1-inch ribbon that I had in my stash. So for the burlap, I just spread that out and I put a layer of Mod Podge on there and then let that dry because that gives my pumpkin some stiffness and stability while I'm working and creating the little pumpkin. To make the pumpkin, I just cut out strips like this, and if you fold it over, it gives you a crease at the bottom, which is great for my pumpkin. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and then I'm just going to fussy cut it around like a pumpkin shape. If it doesn't need to be perfect. Pumpkins come in all shapes and sizes. They're, slanted on one side, smushed in, and so I wouldn't stress about this too much, but if you want a pattern, you can Google it or get free patterns online. Since the bottom has the crease, I just need to glue in the sides. So I'm just using my hot glue gun, and then those pink fingertips are Mod Podge fingertips. I will have a link in the description below. I get a lot of questions about those. You can find them in the craft store. You can also find them on Amazon if you want to check out what they look like. I'll leave a link in the description below. But they have been a lifesaver for this crafty girl, let me tell you. I just glue the sides, leaving an opening at the top so I can put in my stuffing and my stem. So I'm just taking a 1-inch paintbrush and I'm just going to make vertical stripes down. I decided to do this pattern. I'm using this gray paint, a lighter gray. It's not a light gray and it's not a dark gray. I just like this. It was in my stash. It's by Delta Ceramicoat. And I'm just taking my gray paint and I'm just making vertical stripes, just eyeballing it. I did not tape this off because I think that the hand painting makes it so unique. For the vertical stripes, I'm using this chalk paint by Waverly. I get this at Walmart. It's the color Elephant. So I'm just taking my 1-inch brush and just going across horizontal, and then I just kind of eyeball that again and make some more stripes. I did let the bottom coat dry pretty good before I did my second layer, which is this elephant paint. And otherwise, if it's wet, it'll smear and then you'll wind up painting over it. So I have a little bit of control of where I put my black. I'm using a 1/2-inch paintbrush, and I'm just going to color in all of the squares where the lighter and the darker gray paint meet. Once my pumpkin is completely dry, I am going to add some shading around the pumpkin, outside of the pumpkin. So I just have some black paint. I dip half of my brush in paint, half in clean water, and then I have a paper towel that I put that to the side and I blend on that. And then I just run it across my pumpkin or my project and just gives it a little bit of dimension. And then I also am giving some little ripples of the pumpkin. Then the next step, once that's dry, I am taking some white paint, and then I also have some water that I am watering it down because when I'm working with thin, I want to make some thin little lines, and so then that gives me a very like ink consistency. Of course, you know, I have done it in the past where I've put too much water and had to start over. But, you know, the more you do this, the more you find little tricks and things that work for you. Now I'm just adding some splattering. I've already splattered the black paint. I always do the black and then I do the white paint on top of it. I had done the black and I went, oh my goodness, I forgot to film it. So I'm just showing you here how I splattered the white paint. To stuff the pumpkin, I just have my stuffing and I stuff it through the top of the pumpkin. And I'm going to use a dowel rod, just kind of push that stuffing in there, and I can kind of push it to the side where it may be a little flat. And then using some hot glue, I just glue that opening shut. I stick my cinnamon stick in there for the stem. The muslin fabric and the homespun fabric I cut at 1-inch strips. I love to use my pinking shears for that. The orange burlap I cut at 9 inches. Now these may be a tad long, but it gives me some leverage so that I can tie the bow around that cinnamon stick, and then I will trim off any of the excess with my pinking shears. To make the bow, I have the 2 strips of homespun fabric, and then this burlap, I can't tie it in a bow very well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrunch that in the middle, and I'm going to use my little tiny attacher, little mini stapler. I love this. This is one of my favorite crafting tools, and I'm going to staple that because it's going to hold that in the middle and give me, you know, something to crease to. So the homespun fabric and the muslin fabric, then I will just slip that through. I'm going to show you here how I created a little opening, and when I tied it around that cinnamon stick so that I could get my burlap fabric in there as well. And I just kind of play with it, just kind of twisting that fabric and that ribbon, and then using my pinking shears, I just trim off any of the anything that's too long. Use my hot glue to glue everything together, and my little pumpkins are done. I just love how these buffalo check pumpkins turned out. They are a great addition to my 2018 fall decor. Let me tell you, I would love to know what you think if you're going to try this. Do you like the traditional orange, or are you interested in doing some buffalo check into your decor this year? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you all have to say. Thank you for watching. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, and I would love it if you would all give me a big old thumbs up. And if you make some of these for yourself, please share with me over in my Facebook free community called Country Charm Community. The ladies over there are phenomenal. I have so many friends over there. I have learned so much, and I am just blown away by the talent in that group. A link is in the description below. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Y'all all have a great day, and God bless.